Hello, 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 hello. It's late at night, and that means we are to light a candle. We have a candle right here. Lighter. Candle lit. I think that's okay. Anyways, today I wanted to make a video going over some things that I've been enjoying recently and or not so recently, because I haven't done one of these videos in a long time, but I've made a couple of just sharing what I currently am into. Just either media, all kinds of media, books, anime, films, TV shows, manga, music, anything. Sometimes it's some of them, sometimes it's all of them. But I wrote down a few pieces of art that I've been enjoying recently, or that I have enjoyed since the last time I've done this, or just some that came to mind, and I'll explain in detail why I have enjoyed them, or no longer enjoy them, or didn't enjoy them, because some of these I did not enjoy so much, and some of these I have enjoyed a lot. So I'll start with the ones that I could not rave more about. I would like to celebrate. Hurrah, hurrah, wee, wahoo, yahoo. Celebrations. My gosh, this keeps slipping. A celebration of the fact that Witch Hat Atelier has finally been made into an anime, and that anime has been completed. At least the first season has been completed. I will say that Witch Hat Atelier is my favorite manga ever, and it's been a pleasure seeing it on in anime form. Obviously, it is one of those that the manga, when you see it, the art is striking, and one of the big compliments to that manga is that the author really does take the medium of manga to its pinnacle, to the peak, honestly, because the art is amazing. The amount of detail in the things like fabric, how the fabric folds, how it drapes, to the paneling, how the panels are structured, and not just panels, but a way to tell the story. And my cat agrees. He agrees that this manga is just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. If you haven't read any manga ever, I recommend you read Witch Hat Atelier. Apart from the art that anybody can appreciate, the story is also fantastic. It talks about a little soon-to-be witch, who was at the beginning just a little girl, and who dreamed about becoming a witch, and maybe she does, and well, that is for you to find out. I really don't want to spoil anything. I would prefer if people just went into it completely blind, but I will say it has great representation. It has it even though it's about children, it tackles difficult themes as well. It's definitely one of those that sticks with you, and that you can think about long after or you've already finished it. And it hasn't finished yet. The manga is ongoing, but I think we just have arrived at a sort of we've completed an arc, and we'll probably start a new arc. In any case, I don't know if I should recommend you watch the anime or if I should just recommend you to go straight into the manga. But if you can do both, because the anime, although it doesn't have like as much detail in the art style because it is animation, it takes I feel like it takes the medium that is animation to its fullest as well. So instead of all the details, it uses like these vibrant colors and like amazing movement to sort of get the same points across. And I will stop. I cannot say enough positive things about Witch Hat Atelier. Definitely 10 out of 10 for me. But that's one thing that I've been enjoying and thinking a lot about recently, and consuming so much content on, even outside. Like, I just watch like a lot of TikToks about it and a lot of YouTube videos about it. And it's great. I love the fact that the anime has brought like more attention to the manga as well. It's amazing. Outside of Witch Hat Atelier, the anime, another standout anime specifically this season for me has been Jaadugar, a witch in Mongolia. And this one, the art is amazing. Honestly, the art is what drew me into this at the start. If you've seen King's Ranking, for some reason, like, they're not the same, and they have like a lot of like dissimilarities, but for like something about it reminded me of King's Ranking, and I love King's Ranking. The art style of that anime, I think it's just because it does a different kind of like art style like for the characters than like the typical anime, as well as a different kind of art style for the backgrounds. The backgrounds in A Witch in Mongolia are just so vibrant, so like lush, full of life. So like they all have this watercolor style, almost. Maybe not watercolor. I don't know how to describe it, but it's all. They all have like this very warm orange undertone, like underpainting, and then like it's painted over it. They look like paintings, and it's beautiful. First of all, second of all, the story is it talks about a slave girl who was torn from her original family, and goes to Mongolia and has to fend for herself as a slave, basically. And I don't want to say anything else because again, I don't. It's good, and I want people to experience it for themselves. Just in case somebody has seen it or knows anything about it. It's not really magical. I don't know if people would get put off by the title called Witch in Mongolia. Like, it's not fantasy in any sense. It's very much rooted in reality. And one of the cool things about it is I think there has been, like, they did put a lot of details into the sort of rituals and routines, and a lot of I feel like a lot of care has been put into how these cultures are represented, and I feel like the people who made this definitely did their research about these ancient cultures. they feel very grounded. It feels like it feels very grounded as a story. Um, Apart from the fact that it does tackle slavery, it also tackles other issues, war, poverty, what happens, you know, like our main girl, Sitara, or she later on chooses her own name, Fatima. She gets taken in as a slave for an original family who teach her the value of learning. And basically, that's why she's a witch, because she has knowledge on her side, and that's the witchiness of it all. But there's no like actual like magic in that sense. It's more so like the value of knowledge and the value of learning. In that sense, I feel like it's a great sort of it has inspired me, or it kind of reminded me of Assassination Classroom in a weird way. And this won't make any sense probably to people who haven't seen either, or who have seen both, but hear me out. Assassination Classroom also sort of talks a lot about the value of learning, the value of education, the value of pursuing knowledge, and both of them for some reason inspired me to learn more, or are very inspirational and hopeful. It's hope core that you can learn more, and knowing more is always the answer, and seeking information is seeking knowledge. That is a worthwhile pursuit, even if it feels sometimes like it isn't. And I love these kinds of stories. I love the hope core. I love the hope billing, and specifically, I love stories that make me feel like the pursuit of knowledge isn't in vain, and the pursuit of knowledge is worthwhile. Same with another one that kind of had the same feeling for me is A Whisper of the Heart, the Ghibli movie. If you're familiar, I don't know. I think maybe I should have compared it to that instead of Assassination Classroom, but whatever. I love all these stories. Anyways, the other thing that I've been watching recently, actually I've been watching it with my boyfriend, has been ReZero. We finished the first season, and we are on second season. We are on the second part of the second season. And I will say, I honestly skipped this one when it was first airing, because I am not into reincarnation, male power fantasy, guy gets reincarnated and becomes the hero of this other land. I am not really into these kinds of stories. However, my boyfriend was really or he likes the fourth season a lot, or he said that it's really good, and he wanted to rewatch all of it. So we made a pact where he recommends an anime that we watch together, and then I recommend an anime that we watch together. So we watched them at the same time. His was ReZero, mine was Chihaya Furu, and I do love both of them, I must say. ReZero is interesting to me because I still don't particularly it's not gonna be my favorite. I'm pretty sure. I know people say the fourth season is really good, but I'm still it's good, don't get me wrong. It's just, for me, it's probably gonna end up being a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10 kind of show, unless, I don't know, unless something is the fan favorite, and I understand why. She is so sweet. She is so earnest. She, honestly, she's the classic, like, good girl, like, best girl. And I understand and I completely support that. Emilia is also, I like that she has spice to her. I like that she's not just perfect. That she's a little bit, like, she has good and bad traits. And she's very cute. And I don't like if people say Emilia's best girl. I'm like, sure. I feel like Rom, I don't know if Rom is like the second most popular or the third most popular, but I feel like she wouldn't be everybody's favorite, but she is my favorite. She is my personal favorite. I love the fact that she is like, you know, like everybody is saying she's like so like the strongest one, or like this was the strongest demon or whatever, but she's just lazy. I love that about her. I just love that about her. Like, I think it's so funny. And also she is just like the funniest character out of them all. Like the way she banters with Subaru, and the way like their whole dynamic plays out is hilarious. And she's probably like one of the reasons why I'm like still watching and like am enjoying the show as much as I am. I think I don't know, I just love the spicy character. I love that I love the fact that she's lazy. I love the fact that she has all these negative traits. I don't know, somehow they make her so lovable to me. Okay. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the anime segment, and those are the things that's what I like talking about most. So there you go, 20 minutes of me talking about anime. I will mention a book that I've started because I haven't been reading a lot of books. I'll talk about two books. One that I've read and one that I'm currently reading. The one that I've read recently was Katabasis or Katabasis. I regret to say I didn't enjoy it that much. I will say I thought the premise was interesting because it's a like PhD student travels to hell to save her professor that she killed, and then her he's also a PhD student just like her, and he is also a mentee of the same professor. Like, he tags along and like to help her out. Anyways, I thought I would enjoy it because I like the premise of hell. I also thought it had a lot of good representation of like a graduate level, like things that graduate students struggle with, or that they can struggle with, and like this representation of this cutthroat academia life, I thought was interesting and well like researched. And I think the author is actually a PhD student, or like has finished her PhD or something, I don't know, so she knows the life. She's been through it, and I felt like it was very accurate, like in the sense, because our main girl is a very unreliable narrator. I love unreliable narrators in a story. I thought the more you go into the story, the more it is apparent that she is an unreliable narrator, which I think kind of grew on me like towards the end, but the middle half of that story I really hated. I thought it was dragging out. I really wanted to know more about hell, and I thought I would get a more vivid imagining and more interesting like descriptions of hell, because they set it up with like the whole like 9 circles of hell, and then like they start this one is about reality. It's a girl, and her name is Reality. And she is the strangest thing. She's just weird, like weird girl TM trademark. Like, I feel like Reality trademarked that, the weird girl, but like, she's weird, but in a way where you're like, it isn't like quirky, like, oh, cute, like like to make her attractive. No, she's actually just weird, and to a point where she's very like, I actually like her a lot, and basically, she doesn't have much going for her in her life. One of her favorite hobbies is swimming in one of her friend's baths, like scuba diving in the bath, and basically this friend tells her that she should get a hobby, and she's like, what kind of hobby? And he's like, I don't know, get a boyfriend or something. And now, like, it's her life goal to find a boyfriend. And then shenanigans ensues, and it's just a very interesting, following her is very interesting and very like genuinely funny. Like, the dialogue in this book is it feels like real and grounded, but also like somehow she's so weird, and yet somehow I believe her. Like, I believe this character, which is very cool to me, that this author has written a character that like is so strange and off kilter, but still believable, and doesn't like take me out of the story at all. And I just want to consume more and more. But I'm like not. I'm like halfway there. Still reading it, but I have high hopes for this book. In any case, solid recommendation. I feel like if you're into weird women, if you're into reading about weird women, this is a book for you. And then what else? Okay, I was gonna talk about like the new Infinity Nikki patch, the new update to 2.8 update, because oh my gosh, this game has stepped it up. We got a Dark Souls-esque boss. We got like such a good story. We went full circle with this like year, because this year started with the 2.0 patch, and then we've like come full circle to like conclude the 2.0 storyline, and it's just been amazing. And I feel like all I'm gonna say about Infinity Nikki is Infinity Nikki shot itself in the foot so hard with the 1.5 update, and everybody like there was a lot of media coverage about it, and people just like not being able to recommend this game anymore to players. And I feel like we're back at the point where I can recommend this game to players, to new players, to people who like dress up and who like girly things and who like exploring. It has like a Breath of the Wild aspect where it's like open world, and it has little puzzles, almost like Korok puzzles, and it has a farming aspect, not very good farming, I will say, but if you like farming in games, it has that. It has combat. If you like combat in games, it's not like too good, but like you get to dress up as your, as Nikki, and you get to have nice outfits, and you get to do combat, and some combat is better, some combat is worse, but it has combat, it has exploration, it has puzzles, it has story. The story is just, if they keep it on this level, like, I feel like this game could go to great places. But in any case, that's all I'm gonna say about Infinity Nikki. It's amazing. It's been amazing. And then the other thing that I'm gonna mention just quickly is for oh no, actually, scratch that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the was very meh. I found it bland. I could see why people would like it. I could see that it is a spectacle. First and foremost, it's like huge. It like I don't have a better word for it. A spectacle, that's what it is. But the storyline left things to be desired for me. Or is it the story? Or I'm not sure how to critique it properly. I'm not a media critic. In any case, I can only share my opinions. I think my main issue was the passivity of the characters. And specifically the passivity of Odysseus. I don't know how Nolan has managed to make me not care about these characters at all. Like, I think the characterization is like very bad. I don't know. I feel like Odysseus is just a insert of like a American veteran, and I think maybe that was the point. Like, I talked with my friends about this, and we sort of came to the conclusion that the like Odyssey movie wasn't really about the characters. It was more so about war. Like, it was a war movie, and it wasn't a I don't know what I expected, but I had high expectations because I like Epic the musical a lot, and I didn't expect the Odyssey to be like epic. But I expected it. I think that this was my issue. I expected to get pulled in by the characters, and I think from like learning about Nolan, he's just like not that into characters, it seems. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched many of his other movies. None of his other movies. I don't know. I don't actually watch movies. I'm like very bad at watching movies. In any case, I'm really big into characters, and the Odyssey is just not. I think it did have things to say, probably about like war and about how, war impacts everybody, and war bad. I don't know. And bad like average Joes who like maybe are war criminals, like Odysseus. Actually, like, he's actually a good guy, but like and because he feels bad that what he did in the war, but then like he enacts a great massacre at the end anyway, so I'm not sure. It was quite confused. The messaging was a little confusing because at one point, like, the narrative is like very clearly telling us, oh look, war is bad, and like these war crimes are bad, and like look at all this massacre, and Odysseus is just walking past Troy and like seeing all the bloodshed happening, and is seeing like what he has done, like what his actions by building the Trojan horse and setting up that plan, like what he has done, and it's horrible. And then but it's okay when he does it to the suitors, because the suitors, they like deserved it, right? Like, to me that's not convincing. To me that's like a very shallow understanding of violence and the justification of violence, and when is violence justifiable. It's not very interesting to me. Anyways, Odysseus doesn't do fuck. Like, he doesn't do jack shit. He like is so passive as a character, and like half of the movie I felt like he was just there and like letting things pass him by. Like he walks through Troy just like, oh yeah, we're going through this, and then like he just sort of, his crew takes the wheel, and they're like, oh no, we're going through Scylla, but they don't know that they're going through Scylla. Anyways, and he's just sort of standing there, and then like he doesn't even like say anything. It's like, I don't know how to explain this, how to describe this, but like there was multiple points in the story where I felt like Odysseus should have made a choice, like an active choice, and he didn't. Even the fact that when he washed up on Calypso's shores, she was the one who fed him the lotus at the start off with, right? Because one of my friends said that he enjoyed the fact that like in the movie they showed that he was really struggling with the outcomes of this war, and like he made the choice to stay with Calypso and to keep eating the lotus, to keep forgetting, and like that being a commentary on PTSD and sort of trying to forget or whatever. But I feel like I remember that like they didn't even, like, she fed him the lotus for the first time. So, and the second time he ate the lotus, she kind of described it as though like, oh, you just kept eating it because it was too bad to remember. So I'm just like, I don't think he was able to consent the first or the second or any of the other times to eat that lotus. So it wasn't really him actively avoiding, it was sort of her and the greater narrative taking his will out of it, like his action out of it. And I don't know, I just felt like he was a very passive character. I don't know how else to describe it, or if this is making any sense. It felt like the story was just passing him by, and the Odyssey was just passing, and he was just there. And yeah, and that made for a boring story. Because, like, I don't know, I would want him to be a more active character, because I want Odysseus to be a complicated man. And I tend to agree with Emily Wilson that for some reason Nolan was able to construct a very uncomplicated and like the opposite of a complex character, because Odysseus in Nolan's movie felt just very one note, very flat. I did like a few things in the Odyssey, like it was cool, like it looked good, like it looked very nice. I loved how the Cyclops looked. I loved how I thought it was very interesting that what was her name? Circe. Oh my god, you know how I could not for the life of me remember what Circe's name was, and then you know how I fucking remembered again? I went through the song, no matter what we hear, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. My brothers, Circe's instructions were clear. And that's the only way I could remember. Anyways, Circe, I thought it was very interesting and like a cool way to depict her as this almost like she molded the men into pigs, like almost as if they were putty, almost as if they were a clay, like they were clay sculptures or whatever. I thought that was an interesting take and welcome for me, you know. What else? I thought the addition of Sinon, I thought that was like that storyline was cool, but I don't think Sinon is even in the Odyssey. I think he's in the other one, Odyssey, 3 stars out of 5 stars for me, like average of the